This is a K2 Storm Tracker weather alert.
That storm tracker weather alert is in effect because in just a few hours, we are going to really start feeling the heat. This is a live look at Ridgefield now at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it is already 61 degrees out there. So it might be a little surprising when you walk out this morning and you feel that heat already. Thanks for joining us. I'm Angelica Thornton. Let's check. Valerie Hurst is in for Brian. Hannah's going to get you traffic in a second, but let's check right away with Rhonda because people have a lot of questions for you, Rhonda.
Oh, well, it's definitely going to be hot. That's the answer to the first question.
61 is warm this time of morning for Ridgefield, right?
Normally we'd be in the low 50s in Ridgefield, so at least 10 degrees warmer than normal. We have that excessive heat warning issued by the National Weather Service beginning today at noon. Right now here in the city of Portland, we're at 65. We'll be up to 87 by lunchtime, and 99 is where I think we'll end up. So much of the area will either be at triple digits or near triple digits today, and this is just the beginning. Looks like we're going to be headed into the worst heat wave we've seen since 2009. And possibly up to our all-time high temperature ever here in Portland. Details coming up in 10 minutes from now.
6:02 right now. If the westbound Banfield is typically your commute this time of the morning, you're going to want to take an alternate. This is the backup that Mike Warner is stuck in right now in our Chevy Equinox Live Drive. Mike, you came down from 205. How far have you made it so far?
Not even just past 82nd Street, and there was also what appeared to be an injury crash on the on-ramp from 205 south to 84, so most likely you're going to have first responders up there soon, so that backup is going to extend on to 205 south. If you're coming this way, definitely take a different route, Hannah.
And it looks like the westbound backup on 84 starts even before folks get to 205 at this point. Here's a look at the crashing that's causing all these problems. The left lane is blocked for you on 84 west, right around 43rd, so definitely think about Sandy, Gleason, Halsey, all those typical alternates. It's almost a 40-minute drive right now to bring you just between 205 and I-5. A good news update for you from Southeast Portland, that a shooting investigation we were telling you about overnight. All streets are back open here. We'll bring you more details on exactly what's happening here in just a moment.
Hannah, thank you. And we want to update you on breaking news before we get to our weather coverage. A man is in critical condition after he was shot earlier this morning. It happened on Southeast Grand Avenue near Stark. Police say two men were driving off after leaving a bar, but that's when someone shot at them. Portland police say the man in the passenger side was hit. Police say they haven't arrested anyone, but they are working with at least one suspect. Stay with K2 as we continue to follow this breaking news.
Now, as we prepare for the approaching heat wave and what could potentially be the hottest day in Portland history, we are on your side this morning with team coverage.
So K2's Jason Wynn is covering the recent drowning at a popular lake and the one thing officials are unsure of about the death of a 20-year-old.
But first, K2's Mary Lose is live in Northeast Portland for us. Mary, Multnomah County is being proactive to help people stay cool.
They definitely are, and officials have told us that as soon as they heard about the heat like this being in the forecast, they started to make plans to open cooling centers like the one here at the Walnut Park Complex in Northeast Portland. We're just off MLK, as a matter of fact. 3 centers will be opening their doors starting today at 5 p.m. They'll also be open this weekend. Seniors, especially those without air conditioning and with health problems that make them more susceptible to the heat, are at the top of the list for places like this, but children and pets are welcome too. And these centers do try to have a few things to keep people occupied and hydrated as well.
Plan to go out and get some snacks or just some water, make sure we have preparations for water and other needs, and then we go out and we figure out what's the latest movie that we think a lot of people will watch so that they're entertained.
They said they'll have board games too. We're hearing though that these cooling centers will likely be open through Monday the 7th. If you need a ride to one, it is recommended that you call in advance and make a reservation, but the good news is those rides are free. Now, I've posted more information about the 3 centers in Multnomah County on my Facebook page. That's Mary Lose K2, but you can find a complete list of not only cooling centers but also splash pads maybe in your area. That's on our website, k2.com. Live in Northeast Portland, Mary Lose, K2 News.
Mary, thank you. Let's bring in K2's Jason Wynn now live at Blue Lake in Fairview.
So, Jason, as the temperatures get hotter, more people will be heading to the water, but officials are warning people.
Yeah, they are. And I talked to a deputy this morning about this, and he's stressing that people know their limitations because places right here like Blue Lake, the water is very, very cold, and you can use a lot of energy while you're swimming in that water or you're in that water. Deputies say that a man and a woman were on a boat here when it began to go underwater yesterday. Now, we had pictures from viewers that showed what happened. The two started to swim towards the shore, and a woman was rescued by a person that saw the boat going under. Now, the man, he was found 3 hours later. Deputies say that the two were given life jackets, but when they rented a paddle boat, but they don't know if the man was wearing it, and that's why the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is asking people to wear a life vest if you're out on the water. And they also say if you're going to be swimming, make sure you swim in designated areas and always use the buddy system. Now, if you're planning on visiting an area like Blue Lake that does not have a lifeguard or have lifeguards or first responders, say that you need to be vigilant. Not only can somebody get hurt, but people on shore can become dehydrated, and that's why they're asking folks to carry water with them and make sure they have extra water with them throughout the day as the temperatures start to rise. Live at Blue Lake, I'm Jason Wynn, KATU News.
Really good advice, Jason. Thank you. And if you're looking to keep your home cool, you'll want to move fast if you need an air conditioner. Some stores we visited are already sold out, and the real heat hasn't even hit us yet. We did manage to find a good-sized inventory at Ankeny Hardware in Southeast Portland. Norman Chussid says he prides himself on having a large inventory of AC units and fans. Chussid told us he's never sold out before, but this year it could actually happen.
It's been swamped. We've sold about 130 or 140 pieces of air conditioners, probably sold about 150 fans. I'm guessing that by probably this time next week, we'll be very close to being out.
Air conditioners aren't the cheapest option, of course, but they will keep you cool instead of a fan. If you do go shopping for one today, make sure it is the right size for the room that you want to keep cool.
With dangerous temperatures coming, Vancouver Parks and Rec are canceling or delaying some events to keep people safe. Today and tomorrow, any access to recreation camp has been canceled. Baseball or T-ball leagues at Fisher Basin and Bagley Parks are also canceled. Today's summer playgrounds program will end early, and tomorrow it's completely canceled. For a complete list, just visit cityofvancouver.us.
And you might want to drag your trash and recycling out a bit earlier this week. Waste management crews will be out before the sun comes up to help them beat the heat. Crews in Portland and parts of Southwest Washington will be out starting at 4 a.m. Clark County crews will be out this week starting at 6 a.m. With a potentially record-breaking heat wave coming out our way, we want to keep you informed between newscasts. We have a lot of resources available for you, including advice about how to keep your pets safe, TriMet slowdowns, and where you can stay cool. It's all on our website, KATU.com.
While we brace for the heat, firefighters in Lebanon worked overnight to contain a wildfire. The Mount Hope fire started yesterday evening, and this is new drone video into our newsroom from Aerial 51 Photography. You can really see that plume of smoke. You can even see the flames. Crews have been out overnight working on a plan to contain this fire, especially with the hot weather in our forecast. There is no official word on what started that fire.
This is what we were afraid of, Rhonda. You've been talking about this week. These conditions are really bad for these firefighters.
Really bad. I think we're going to see a few more spinning up because it takes just a very small spark to get this going. And with the wind gusts approaching 15 to 30 miles per hour in spots in the afternoon, the sun and the intense heat actually creates more wind. This could be a real problem. But we are on your side again with a heads up on all the things you need to do this week earlier than normal, including watering plants earlier during the day, exercising before 9 a.m. Remember, the MAX trains are going to slow down in the afternoon beginning today because of the heat. Making sure you have enough water, and if you do plan to escape the heat, go west, not east for sure, because the heat's actually going to migrate east of the mountains later this week. And then take great care of your pets, making sure they have plenty of shade, water, and keeping them off the pavement in this heat as we go through the next 3 days. Here's a look at temperatures right now. We're starting out at 65 in Portland, 61 in Vancouver, generally in the 40s and 50s along the coast, 54 in the Redmond Bend area, 64 in the Dalles. East of the Cascades, similar temperatures here. It depends on really where you are. 46 in Baker City. Nice recovery, temperature recovery there, but the rest of the area is still pretty warm, around 60 degrees, and will be one of many cities on the West Coast under this strong ridge of high pressure. And this ridge of high pressure is actually pumping the low-level heat all the way from the desert Southwest up into Washington and Oregon. And with what we call an offshore flow, or wind flow coming in off the east and down the mountains and into the valley, the temperature is actually going to heat up warmer than normal because of that. So we will easily get to around 98, 99 today. Some of you may hit 100 as early as today. If you don't, you'll be very close. North wind up to 15 miles per hour later today. Sunset at 8:38, and then you'll start to see a little relief, but only down to 67 tonight. 105 is tomorrow's forecast high, which would also be a record. Of course, Thursday would be the all-time high record, or at least we would tie it if we reach 107. If we go above it, we would beat that record as well. And coming up, the 7-day forecast, which includes a little relief, but not a lot, Hannah.
6:11 right now. We've got one major highway running super slow this morning, and it's your westbound drive across the Bainfield. And even before you get to that stretch, before you hit 205, coming in from the Troutdale, Wood Village, and Fairview area. So Mike Warner has been stuck in this backup for quite a while now in our Chevy Equinox Live Drive. Mike, it's taken you almost 30 minutes just to get from the 205 ramps over to where you are right now, right around 43rd.
Yeah, I'm not even to the accident scene yet, and I can just tell you there was another little fender bender just now. They were able to move over to the right side, so they're off the road, but we stopped for a minute so that they could get out of the way. So there's just several as we've come down from 205, and like you said, it's been about 30 minutes, and I haven't quite got to the accident scene. We seem to be moving about 3 or 4 miles an hour, so hopefully they're getting it off to the side, but hopefully I'll let you know, or hopefully I'll get there before the show's over and see what's going on there.
You're getting pretty close based on where you are right now. I do have a live picture from ODOT to show you of this crash that's still blocking the left lane right as you come by that Providence Portland campus. But your travel time here, it's over almost an hour right now to bring you westbound across the Bainfield between 205 and I-5. But aside from that, most of your other highways are running pretty quiet so far this morning. Still less than 15 minutes inbound on the Sunset to bring you from Hillsborough to downtown Portland.
Thank you, Hannah and Mike. And it's 6:12 now. If you're keeping up with the newest season of Game of Thrones, you need to be very careful about what you click online. Coming up, why HBO says you could end up spoiling the next episode for yourself before it airs.
But first, redemption for a man who's been hated by an entire fan base for more than a decade. How the Chicago Cubs tried to make things right with their most controversial fan.